Alright folks, buckle up because we're diving into the world of Formula 1. Now you might think F1 is just a bunch of rich folks zipping around in circles, and hey, I won't lie, there's a bit of truth to that. But trust me, there's way more to it than meets the eye. So picture this, you've got a glamour, the beauty, the insane speed, and the mind-blowing engineering feats. It's like the Olympics of racing but on steroids. And sure, watching 20 millionaires tear up the track might seem like a strange way to spend your Sunday. But stick with me because Formula 1 is a wild ride like no other. Now, if you're new to the F1 scene, welcome aboard. And if you're a die-hard fan already, well, why are you still here? Either way, get ready for a roller coaster of emotions and excitement. So grab your popcorn, wipe away those tears, especially if you're a Ferrari fan, and crack open a Red Bull or a Monster Energy because this is Formula 1 explained by a self-proclaimed pro. Let's go. Let's kick things off with the basics of Formula 1. Picture this, you've got 10 teams, each with 2 drivers battling out for points that add up to the prestigious Drivers' World Championship. It's like the Piston Cup but with a serious dose of adrenaline. The F1 season ramps up for the late February to November, leaving us fans in withdrawal during the off-season from December to February. Trust me, it's a struggle. But fear not, because that off-season is also when the juiciest F1 gossip drops. It's like finding out your favorite manager got sacked or your co-worker jumped ship to the competition. Now on to the races. There are 24 epic showdowns lined up this year, and each one drivers battle for those precious points. Only the top 10 finishers get points, leaving the rest with a big ol' skill issue stamp. And those points? They're not just for bragging rights, they also count towards the Constructors' Championship, where teams rake in cash based on their performance. Every team fields 2 drivers except for Aston Martin, who seem to think one is enough. Sorry Lance Stroll fans, but sometimes the truth hurts.
Oh, sorry!
Now, before the season kicks off, each team cooks up a mean machine that meets the FIA's or aka forever and unsufferable pain in the ass regulations. It's a race to build the fastest, most aerodynamically efficient car on the grid. Oh, and don't forget the engines. With powerhouses like Mercedes, Ferrari, Honda, and Renault in the mix, choosing the right engine is crucial, because if you slip up, well, let's just say things can go south fast. Next, we're about to dive into some essential F1 jargon. Get ready to nerd out with me as we speedrun through these terms, because let's face it, without this crash course, I'd be yapping like a pro. First up, we've got pole position. It's like the snagging the prime parking spot at the mall, except instead of cars, it's where the fastest qualifier starts on the grid. Sorry Lewis Hamilton, but pole position isn't a guaranteed win. Let's talk podium. No, it's not where politicians tend to give speeches. In F1, it's the holy grail of finishing in the top 3. Think of it as getting the VIP pass to stand on a fancy platform and maybe even break someone's trophy in the process. Now on to the back markers. These are the underdogs of the pack, the ones who are chilling way back in the rear view mirror. Take a bow, Nikita Mazepin, you're the king of the back markers. Moving on, we've got P1, P2, and P3. It's not rocket science, folks. It's just shorthand for positions 1, 2, and 3. If you can't wrap up your head around that, well, I don't know what to tell you. Then there's pit stops. It's where the magic happens, folks. Drivers swap out tires faster than you can say fly buzzing in your ears. And last but not the least, DRS. It's like hitting turbo on your Mario Kart except in F1. It's a nifty little gadget that opens up the rear wing, reducing drag and making your car go zoom. Just remember, it only works in designated DRS zones on the track. Now let's talk weekends, folks. It's the holy trinity of F1 action unfolding over 3 glorious days. First up, we've got Friday, aka free practice. It's like the calm before the storm, where drivers hit the track to get a feel for the twists and turns ahead. But let's be real, everyone's a bit delusional on Fridays, dreaming of podium finishes and record-breaking laps. Then comes Saturday, the day of reckoning. It's qualifying time, baby. This is where dreams are made or shattered as drivers push their machines to the limit to secure their spot on the grid. And trust me, on Saturdays, Ferrari fans are riding high on hope, praying for that pole position. Finally, we roll into Sundays, the main event. It's race day, folks. This is where the rubber meets the road and tensions run high as drivers battle it out for glory. But if you're a Red Bull fan, Sundays are pure bliss, especially when you hear the Dutch national anthem playing for the nth time in a year. Sorry again, Ferrari, maybe next time. So, what happens when it's go time? Well, let's buckle up because once those lights go out and we're off to the races, it's not just a monotonous loop-de-loop around the track, although let's be real, that's a big part of it. Enter the tire wear. Let's break it down into simple terms. You've got your hard tires, the marathon runners of the bunch lasting the longest. Then there are those soft tires, the sprinters, finishing last but burning out quickly. And somewhere in between, you've got the medium tires straddling the line like the Goldilocks of the bunch. But wait, there's more. When things get spicy and the track gets slippery, cue the wet tires. And when it's not quite a downpour but not bone dry either, you've got the intermediates. Think of them as the Goldilocks of wet weather tires. Now on to pit stops. This is where the magic happens, folks. Teams swap out their tires faster than you can say sub 3 seconds, and just to paint a picture of you, Red Bull's pit stops are like lightning, while Ferraris, well, let's just say they take their time, shall we? And speaking of strategy, each race throws a curveball. Some require multiple pit stops, while others are all about that risky one-stop strategy. It's a game of tactics, folks, and the teams are constantly juggling to find that perfect combo. Well, except for Ferrari, but we won't dwell on that. So, why F1 is peak? So what sets Formula 1 apart from the rest of the motorsport world? Sure, we've got the sleek cars and the heart-pounding speed, but let's be real, it's the crashes and accidents that really get our adrenaline pumping. Picture this: rubber burning, engines roaring, and then BAM! A super soft rubber moment turns into a chaotic mess faster than you can say ready to attack. And let's not forget those infamous moments like when Jugu's car decided to breakdance and when Shackle became a regular in the Monaco Crash Club. Oh, and who could forget Sergio Perez's knack for finding trouble in literally every race in 2023. But crashes aren't just for entertainment value. They can turn a race into a danger zone, prompting the waving of flags to keep everyone safe. We've got the single yellow flag for minor mishaps, the double yellow for more serious stuff, and the dreaded red flag for major incidents. Then there are other flags like the blue flag, warning slower cars that a speed demon is on their tail, and let's not forget the black flag, a stern warning or even disqualification for those who break the rules. But when the chaos clears and the dust settles, there's one flag that reigns supreme: the checkered flag, signaling the end of the race and crowning the ultimate victor. Last but not the least, folks, let's talk about rules. The FIA, aka the ultimate rule makers, are notorious for their controversial decisions. But hey, that's just part of the course in the world of F1. So let's speedrun through some of the most crucial rules. First up, track limits. Step even a toe over those white lines and bam, they blow you up faster than you can say oops. Next, we've got speeding in the pit lane. Go too fast and guess what? Yep, you guessed it, they'll blow you up. And let's not forget the overtaking rules. Get a little too cozy with another car and boom, you're history. But wait, there's one rule to rule them all. If you remain Grosjean, well, you might as well start counting down because you're about to blow up. As we wrap up our journey through the fast-paced world of Formula 1, we've seen just how exhilarating and unpredictable this sport can be. From the thrill of the races to the drama of the pit stops, F1 never fails to deliver excitement. So until next time, keep the engines revving and the dreams of victory alive. See you at the finish line.